Preface to The Builder's Path. In the quiet of dawn, when the world seems to stand still beneath the first soft rays of sunlight, there is a timeless peace in the air. It is here, on the fringes of the great Roman Empire, that our story begins, rooted in the earth beneath a boy's feet and the heavens above, where dreams of creation take shape like the mighty stones of Rome itself. This is a story of growth and discovery, of gentle beginnings and the slow, patient unfolding of a life devoted to building, not just structures of stone, but a legacy. It follows the journey of a young boy whose heart is touched by the stories of the grand city, whose hands, though small at first, will one day help shape the empire's heart. From the quiet countryside to the bustling streets of Rome, from the sketches in the margins of a scroll to the stones of the Colosseum rising into the sky, the path of this young apprentice is one of purpose, quiet dedication, and an unspoken promise to create something that will last forever. In these pages, we walk alongside a boy who dreams of great arches and temples, of aqueducts that bring water to the thirsty and roads that stretch out like ribbons of history. With each chapter, he grows into his role as a builder, a creator of beauty and strength, shaped by the hands of those before him and those who will follow. As you journey through these pages, may you find comfort in the steady rhythm of creation, in the peace of patient learning, and in the quiet strength of a world shaped by those who walk its paths with purpose. This is the story of a boy, a builder, and a legacy, his journey to understand that the true power of creation lies not just in the grand structures that stand tall, but in the quiet whispers of stone, shaped one piece at a time. Welcome to The Builder's Path, a story of Rome, of stone, and of the lasting power of creation. The Builder's Path, the Roman Empire. Chapter 1, The Gentle Beginnings. The sun rises gently over the hills, casting a soft, golden light across the Roman countryside. It is still early, and the air is cool, the world quiet and peaceful. I lie on my back in the soft grass, looking up at the wide, open sky. It feels like it could stretch on forever, a calm and endless sea of blue. The world is still, and for a moment, I simply listen to the gentle rustling of the leaves in the breeze. The warmth of the sun on my face is comforting, like a soft blanket. I close my eyes for a moment and feel the earth beneath me, solid and steady, holding me gently. My father often says that the gods watch over us from the heavens. The thought of them up there, looking down with kind eyes, brings a sense of peace to my heart. As a boy, I didn't know much about the grand city of Rome that lay not far away, but I loved to listen to my father talk about it. He would tell me stories of the great buildings, huge, beautiful structures that reached high into the sky, like the temples and the great arches. Sometimes, when we walked through the narrow streets of our little village, I would stop and stare at the old stone walls, my fingers brushing over them as if I could feel the history of the city in my hands. The smell of bread baking in the baker's oven would drift through the air, and I would run down the street to greet my older brother, who would always have a smile for me. He was always busy with his friends, but when he had time, he would take me to the open fields just outside the city. The air there smelled of fresh earth, and the soft grass tickled my bare feet as I ran beside him. We would sit by the river, watching the water flow calmly past, and he would tell me about the great aqueducts that brought water to Rome. I didn't fully understand it at the time, but I liked the way his words made me feel. They felt like a promise, like one day I would understand, one day I would help build these things, too. One afternoon, when I was very young, my father took me to see the great aqueducts in the distance. They stretched across the land, high and tall, like gentle giants. The stone arches seemed to touch the sky, and the water poured down from them, sparkling in the sun. I stood there in awe, my heart full of wonder at the sight. "These are the works of great men," my father said, his voice soft, almost a whisper. "And one day, you'll build something just as magnificent." His words felt like a promise, as if the world itself was waiting for me to grow and learn. As I watched the water flow, I imagined the stones, the careful work of the builders, and the way everything fit together so perfectly. Even as a boy, I knew I wanted to create something beautiful, something lasting. I wanted to shape the world around me, just like the men who built these great things. When I lay down at night, the stars twinkling above me, I would think about the buildings in Rome, the great walls and arches, and the way the city stood strong and proud against time. I would fall asleep with these thoughts in my mind, the soft sound of the wind outside my window lulling me into dreams. And in those dreams, I would walk through the streets of Rome, my heart full of hope, my hands ready to build something that would one day stand tall, strong, and enduring. Chapter 2, The Quiet Path of Learning. The days drift by, each one feeling like a soft breeze, gentle and unhurried. My feet carry me along familiar paths, the earth beneath me warm from the sun. The streets of Rome are never still, but there are moments, small pockets of time, when everything seems to pause. It's in those moments that I feel the quiet pull of the world around me, drawing me towards something greater than I can yet understand. I am older now, and my days are filled with the lessons of the world. My father, though humble in his trade, believes that learning is the greatest gift a boy can receive. So, each day, as the sun rises, I walk with him to the small school by the edge of the city. The building is simple, its walls made of the same warm stone as the streets we walk upon, but within, there is knowledge. It is there, in the soft, echoing rooms, that I am taught. My teacher, a kind man with gentle eyes, guides us through the words of our ancestors. He speaks of the world and its many wonders, of the stars above, the lands beyond the mountains, and the seas that stretch further than we can see. But it is not these grand things that capture my heart, it is the way he speaks of building. He tells us stories of great engineers who built roads that wound like ribbons through the hills, of aqueducts that brought water to the farthest corners of the empire, of the magnificent temples and theaters that rose up from the earth, touching the heavens. The soft scratching of quills on parchment fills the room as we work, the light from the windows casting a warm glow across the pages. I sit at my desk, my mind full of thoughts of columns and arches, of walls that stand tall and proud against the wind. I draw pictures in the margins of my scrolls, not of kings or gods, but of the buildings I wish to create. I sketch the gentle curves of an arch, the careful way the stones fit together, each one placed with purpose and care. In those quiet moments, the world outside fades, and all that exists is the peaceful rhythm of my thoughts. At home, my father continues his work, always building, always shaping the world around us. I watch him with wide eyes, learning from the way he handles his tools, the steady movements of his hands. He speaks little of the grand city of Rome, but when he does, his voice softens, as though the city itself is a living thing, something to be respected and cared for. One day, he says, as we sit by the fire in the evening, you will be ready to build. You will shape the world with your hands, just as those before us have done. The nights are peaceful, the stars twinkling above, and I often lie awake thinking about the things I have learned. I think of the aqueducts, of the buildings that seem to rise from the earth as though they have always been there, waiting to be uncovered. I imagine myself walking through the streets of Rome, my hands steady, my heart full of purpose. I can almost hear the sound of stones being set in place, the soft thud of a hammer striking against the rock, the quiet hum of the world as it is shaped into something new. And as I close my eyes, I know that the path before me is not one of haste, but of quiet patience. It is a path that will take time, one stone at a time, one lesson at a time. But it is a path I am ready to walk, for it is the path of creation, the path of building a world that will stand tall and strong, just like the empire we call home. Chapter 3, The Whisper of Stone. The days pass quietly, and the world around me grows fuller with the sound of work. My hands, though still young, have begun to learn the feel of stone, the weight of the materials that shape the world. It is no longer just a dream in my heart, but something real, something I can touch and feel. The soft thud of a chisel against the rock, the cool, smooth surface of marble beneath my fingertips, these sensations are becoming as familiar to me as the rhythm of my breath. The great project that fills the city these days is the building of the Colosseum. The very name fills me with wonder, for it is a dream taking shape before our eyes. I walk past the site every day on my way to the school, and I can hear the steady rhythm of hammers and chisels echoing through the air. The sounds mix with the murmur of the city, but they stand apart, like the heartbeat of something vast, something that will last forever. The workers move with purpose, their bodies strong and steady as they carve the stone, as they shape it with care. I watch them closely, learning from their movements. There is a grace to their work, a quiet determination in the way they handle the stones, fitting them together, one by one, like a great puzzle that only they can see. Each stone is placed with love, with patience, as though it were a part of the earth itself, a piece of something far greater. My father often takes me to the building site, showing me the tools of the trade, teaching me how to measure the stones, how to balance their weight, how to find their place in the great structure. He speaks of the plans, of how the arches will rise up to the sky, of the strength that will hold the mighty walls together, the way the stone will stand for centuries to come. His voice is filled with pride, with a quiet joy, and I listen carefully, taking in every word, every detail. As I stand there, watching the builders work, I feel a deep connection to them, as though I, too, am a part of this great creation. I can almost see the Colosseum in my mind, its grand arches soaring into the sky, its walls strong and proud. I imagine the crowds who will one day fill the seats, the roar of their voices rising up, carried by the wind. I see the sunlight glinting off the stone, casting shadows on the ground, the air thick with the weight of history. It is a future I can feel, a future that is coming to life. At night, when I lie in bed, I close my eyes and think of the Colosseum, of the stones that are being placed, one after another, and I feel a sense of peace. The world may be large, and the work ahead may be great, but in my heart, I know that it is this work, this quiet, steady shaping of the earth, that will carry us forward. It is a work of patience, of care, and of love. And as I drift off to sleep, I dream of the Colosseum rising before me, tall and strong, a monument to the work of many hands, a testament to the quiet power of creation. It is a dream of stone, of strength, and of the gentle whispers of those who shape the world. Chapter 4, The Legacy of Rome. The seasons shift, the days stretching longer as the sun rises higher in the sky. I am no longer the boy who dreams by the river, sketching arches in the sand. I am becoming the man who will one day shape the very stones that make up the heart of Rome. The work on the Colosseum continues, and though it still feels like a distant dream, I am a part of it now, in ways I never thought possible. My father has taught me all he knows, and more. His hands, weathered by years of work, are steady as they guide me. The tools now feel familiar in my grip, and I have learned to listen to the stones as they speak, to feel the way they fit together, as if the earth itself is offering up its secrets. The builders and I work side by side, each of us contributing our piece to something far greater than any one of us. Together, we are building a legacy that will stand for generations, a place where the people of Rome will gather to witness the greatness of our empire. But it is not just the Colosseum that calls to me now. It is the entire city, the grand tapestry of stone and marble that stretches across the land. The aqueducts, the roads, the temples, they are all part of the same dream, a dream of strength, of beauty, of something lasting. It is the legacy of Rome itself, and I am proud to be part of it, to be a part of something that will endure through time. When I stand at the foot of the Colosseum, looking up at its rising walls, I feel a deep sense of peace. I see the work of many hands, the stones carefully placed, each one a part of something far greater than myself. I know that one day, the people of Rome will fill this place, their voices rising up in praise and joy. I know that the stones I've helped to place will stand for centuries, a testament to the work of those who came before me and those who will follow. As I walk through the streets of Rome, I see the city as a living thing, each stone and column telling a story, each building a chapter in the grand tale of our people. The city hums with the energy of creation, of life unfolding in every corner. The roads lead to places of knowledge and power, to markets where the air is filled with the sense of spices and fresh bread, to temples where the gods are honored with quiet reverence. Everywhere I look, I see the legacy of those who have built this city, and I know that I, too, am a part of it. When I return home at the end of each day, my hands covered in dust, my heart full of pride, I know that my work will carry on long after I am gone. The stones I've placed, the buildings I've helped to shape, will stand as a testament to the strength of Rome, to the power of creation. And though the world will change, though time will move on, the legacy of our work will endure, just as the stones endure, steady and strong. At night, as I lie in bed, The stars twinkling above, I think of all that has been built, and all that is yet to come. I think of the Colosseum, its great arches reaching toward the sky, its walls strong and unyielding. And I know that the work of creation is never truly finished. It continues, ever onward, carried forward by the hands of those who, like me, dream of a world that will stand the test of time. And as I drift off to sleep, I smile, knowing that I am part of something greater than myself, something that will live on in the stones, in the city, in the very heart of Rome.